It's 11 o'clock here in Philadelphia. Welcome, everybody. I'm Cantor Lizzie Shammash, coming to you from Philadelphia. Today's props are going to be a chair. We're going to do some twists today. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff on how to modify with a chair, which is so helpful. And so a chair, grab your blocks. If you own a bolster, grab your bolster. And it's always good to have a blanket or two. Make sure you're warm during your practice. Make arrangements so that any alerts or sounds on your phone, etc., your computer are shut off so that you have this time. We'll practice together for 45 minutes. We'll do a little centering and some teaching and practice till 45 after the hour, and then we'll reserve about 15 minutes for Q&A. So as you're gathering your props, I just want to share one announcement from the Institute, and that is please join us for Awareness in Action in the Omer edition. That's going to be 8 weeks of practice with Midot. And it's free, it's live, and it's an hour weekly online session. It's going to be led by Rabbi Nicole Auerbach from Central Synagogue. She's terrific, and the link is in the chat. So please avail yourselves. And also, yet another AIA alumni edition, weekly practice led by Sam Feinsmith, Miriam Klotz, and Mark Margolius, and you can learn more. So that's for if you've already done preliminary AIA. So it's open to you, and please take advantage if you're able. So let's come to a comfortable seat. That can be on the chair or on the floor, propped up, as you wish, as works best for you. Find a comfortable seat, ground your sitting bones. Lengthen in 2 directions so the tailbone reaches down. The crown of the head reaches up. See if you can lift in the upward direction, really from the base of the spine, which is really base of the spine, not the base of the spine, sorry, base of the rib cage. That point at the base of the thoracic spine is what I mean to say, is really where the shoulders begin, believe it or not. Right? So connect yourself. Find that lift from the base of the rib cage all the way through the crown of the head. If it's comfortable for you and feels safe, allow the eyes to close. Just begin to land right here. Evenly breathing, noticing breath coming in and breath going out. And see if you can simply follow the movement of your breath and feel the breath inhabiting and enlivening this being, Nishmat Chaim. It's the soul of your being. Breath coming in, breath going out. Maybe that helps you land right here in this breath, in this body, in this moment. Notice if any parts of your body are speaking to you. Sometimes the ones that speak first, primarily, are parts of the body that feel tender or achy or painful. Allow them to speak. Hear them without judgment. Promise to meet them today with chesed, with love, with kindness. To not turn away from the places that need attention. Notice also which places might feel open, alive. Sometimes we don't feel those quite as much. Where do you feel alert, wakeful, ready, free, unconstricted, unrestricted? Winter to spring is a big transition, the biggest, coming out of slumber, new growth, new goals, budding, blossoming, sprouting. It can take a little time for the body to catch up with the season as the weather presents something different each day. It's a big ride and journey. I'm just acknowledging that we're amidst spiritual transition, seasonal transition, as we move toward Chag HaAviv, towards Pesach. One of its names is the holiday of Aviv, of spring. Feeling the breath coming and going. And you can remain with the eyes closed for teaching. You can open your eyes if you like, however you wish. You could do some light stretches while I share some words if you like, or lay down, whatever you need. So we're on Parashat Tazria this week. Now often Tazria and Metzora that follows, those two parshiot are together most often, but since it's a leap year this year, we're in the second Adar, they're separate, which is slightly unfortunate because they're highly medical portions, shall we say, that deal with what is pure and what is impure, what is tameh, unclean, and what is tahor, what is pure. It's kind of a theme all through this book of Torah. And so Tazria deals with childbirth and skin rashes and leprosy and lice. It's not really so pleasant. And how a person must be quarantined during these times of impurity, and how they must be separated from the community, and how the priests should check on them every 7 days to see the condition of the disease. So it's not the most exciting parsha. These parshiot, we're always really sad when the B'nai Mitzvah get these parshiot, like, oh, your bar bat mitzvah was about leprosy. That's awesome. So I want to share with you, as I often do, from Rabbi Yael Levy, Directing the Heart. She is a genius, and she takes this mindfulness approach to Parashat Tazria that is so beautiful. I want to read it to you and share it with you. And I think it really also relates to this winter-spring transition and our needs. Tazria, seeds. The natural inclination of the human being is to seek harmony, to find balance, to revel in beauty. And of course, there are so many things in life that knock us around, mix us up, and leave us unsettled. Sometimes we're thrown off balance by joyful surprises, spectacular sensations, wondrous events. Other times our equilibrium is upset from fear, pain, challenging encounters, and difficult situations. And sometimes it is just the natural flow of what a day requires that knocks us off center. Finding balance, seeking harmony, is a practice we do again and again. Yoga, full stop, right? Listen to the body, the tradition teaches. Take notice of what it is telling you. What is the body communicating through its sensations, its manifestations, and needs? What can be discerned from how tired, awake, stressed, strained, or relaxed the body feels? Tradition teaches that when we listen to the body, we realize there are times for us to be outwardly engaged and times for us to focus inward. When we are awake to what the body is communicating, we discover that there are times for us to be in connection, and there are times when it is important for us to separate ourselves. This discernment can be challenging. The signs from the body are not always clear. And interpreting what the body is communicating is difficult when we feel vulnerable, when emotions erupt, and the mind is confused or inflamed. Yet the tradition is insistent. Sometimes it's best to be in relationship, and other times it is imperative we step away. The body can help us discern what is true for us to do. I'll repeat that sentence. The body can help us discern what is true for us to do. Finding balance, seeking harmony is a practice that requires motion. We step, shift, realign, find center again and again. The body has secrets to tell, wisdom to share. May its guidance come with gentleness and clarity, well-being, and good health. Amen and Yasher Koach to Rabbi Yael Levy for such a beautiful piece in making some sense out of Parashat Tazria and our ability to discern with the body's wisdom and guidance what we need. Do we need to be alone still, that sort of winter quality? Are we ready to emerge into community as masks are coming off a little, as spring is coming? Do we want to be more outdoors? Where are we on that continuum? So we're going to work twists today, abdominal stability, abdominal traction, lengthening, to help with clarification, detoxification, digestion. These are all pieces of the language of this transition. So let's come to lie on our backs. Come to constructive rest, which is the knees bent and the soles of the feet on the floor. You may take a little bit of support for your head if you would like a blanket or something under. Just take a few breaths here to allow the torso, the hips, the shoulders, the back of the head to settle, to be received by this great Mother Earth. Let her meet you. With the exhale, allow the abdominal organs to settle toward the back body. And feel your abdominal cavity. Notice that there's a curve in the spine, so your spine is not completely against the floor, against your mat, but there's a little bit of space, right, in that lumbar curve. And now draw the navel toward the spine slightly to engage the abdominal muscles and feel a sense that your ribs are corseted inward, right? So they don't pop out as we are about to bring our arms overhead, but that the ribs are drawing towards the center line. The abdominal muscles, the core muscles engaging, drawing towards the center line. Take the arms long with the palms to the floor and take an inhale and begin to lift the palms up toward the ceiling, fingers toward the ceiling. Notice what begins to happen through the abdomen, through the rib cage, the torso. Stabilize it as you, if the shoulders allow, bring the arms all the way overhead, palms facing up. Right, so notice that there is a tendency for the ribs to want to pop out, and you want to work against that, engaging the core.
Lengthen the fingertips toward the opposite wall. So find that lengthening of the abdomen, and as that happens, there's a hollowing that naturally ensues. Good. So core engaged. And now lift the heels from the floor. So just the toes to the floor. Notice it gets a little more heat, a little more intensity. Stabilize yourself. Feel the sacrum in contact, the low back in contact with the floor. Just notice its imprint. Take one set of toes off the floor and then the other. Notice that engagement. Bring the knees up and the shins parallel to the floor. Draw the navel to the spine. Lengthen and hollow the abdomen. Good. And then bring the toes and heels back to the floor. Find that, we're going to find that stability one more time. So bring the arms down. We're going to do the whole thing again, a little quicker this time. Now you know where we're going, but feeling that core engagement. Inhale the arms up overhead. Find some integrity as you do this, right? For the spine, for the core. Heels up, toes up, come on up. And now release the toes back toward the floor. Okay, we're going to take a twist to one side. So lengthen the left leg, that's your standing leg. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. And to your left side, you're either going to lay your bolster, if you have one, or your block or blocks, so that they can receive the leg as it comes over. The arms are out to the side. And the right knee is going to come on an exhale over to the left side to be supported on the bolster or on blocks. See what you need. You might need a combination. Be careful in that twist, right, on your low back, so that you have support for the lower leg, the lower right leg, from the knee to the ankle, more or less. And the right shoulder is grounded and extended out to the side. So you maintain that lengthening of the abdominal cavity, kind of a lift up and under the rib cage toward the diaphragm as you twist. Pause here and breathe. If there's any pain, discomfort, anything intense to the low back, you want to back out of it. You're going too far, so come on back out. Give yourself a little more support, either for the right knee or for the right shoulder. As you're ready, inhale, come back to center, and we're going to switch sides. So bolster, blocks, whatever kind of tower you had to the left, move it over to the right. Extend the right leg long, flex through that foot. Draw the left knee in toward the chest. Arms out into a T, shoulder height. Inhale. Exhale, take the left leg over to the right and support it. See what you need for height there on the right side so that the left shoulder can stay down. So that there's a lot of width and a lot of space made for the low back. Continue to extend through that right leg, the standing leg. Extend through the heel, flex the foot. The toes of that right leg are now pointing toward the right, going with the body. Be here and breathe. As you're ready, inhale, come on back to center. Move your props to the side. Come back to this first constructive rest position. Find that length in the abdomen. Raise the heels, raise the toes. hug the knees toward the chest. The arms are out shoulder height. We're going to inhale here. Exhale with the knees squeezed together and as high as you can get them. Exhale toward the right. We're not coming all the way down necessarily, just partially. We're really working the core here. Inhale through center. Exhale toward the left. Just continuing this wake up process. Hello there, spring is coming. Inhale, center, and you'll exhale to the side. Take this in your own breath. It can be nice to flex the feet, really squeeze those knees together. Navel toward the spine. As you go side to side, just finding this twisting action. And then the next time you come back to center, bring the feet down. Good. Press into the feet, lift the hips, shift the hips just a little bit over to the left. Inhale, draw the knees in, again, as high up as you can get them towards the chest. And then exhale, take them down to the right, this time to stay. So once again, you can place some support under the right knee, or you can place some support under the left shoulder, but you want to have both in contact with something. If it's not floor, it should be extra rolled up mat or blanket, or place bolster or block underneath. Find the twist. As you're ready, inhale to center. Exhale, place the feet down. Inhale, lift the hips and shift them just a micro shift, inch or two to the right. Inhale, the knees back up toward the chest, feet flexed. Exhale, send the knees over to the left. As much as possible, tucked up towards the left armpit. But see what works for you. As always, I'm just the tour guide. I'm just giving you the outline. This may or may not work in your body in the way that I'm describing, and that's good. Be attentive to you. Listening inward moment to moment and making those shifts. And as you're ready, inhale, back up towards center. Exhale, give the knees a little bit of a hug towards the chest. Draw the arms around the knees. You can rock it a little side to side or take the knees in circles. Give a little sigh, moan, exhale. Stay with it. Stay with yourself. We're going to roll over to one side and press up to sit. We're going to come to stand. Grab your chair. Grab your chair and grab a block. Okay, so we're going to work on some twists in the chair. This is really exciting. At least it's exciting in my world. These are twists that normally happen when you're seated, right? So you have like a 90-degree angle at the hip. We're opening the angle to gain some space in the abdomen, right? And it also helps if the hamstrings are not so flexible, the backs of the legs. This is a beautiful way that you can work to sit up and do these. It's really good for everybody regardless. So extend the left leg and the right foot is going to come up onto the block. I have it on the medium height. You'll see what works for you depending on your height, the height of the chair, etc. Right foot on the block, left leg extended. Sit up nice and tall. So the first thing we're going to do is inhale the right arm up. And then we're going to exhale and twist to the left. Here are the options. Simply take the extended arm so that the right wrist is at the right knee and open to the left. Or
come a little bit forward. Take the elbow or all the way down toward the shoulder and take the twist, right? So a couple different options. So if you're coming a little closer down into the forward bend as you twist, left hand to the back of the chair, let it help you. Use the leverage of both arms, right? So right arm against right knee, they're both pushing against each other. The knee is pressing in. And then the left hand to the chair is doing a little bit of a pull to help you lengthen and open. Stay here and breathe. First order of business is the length. And then the second order of business is the twist. As you're ready, release, come back to center. Come on up, we'll take it to the other side. So in this open twist, right, we find a lot of length before we go into the next twist, the closed twist. A lot of length and space for the abdomen, right? We always want to create space. Right leg extended, left knee is up. So we inhale here, and then we take this exhale and open the twist to the right. So it can be here, it can be here, it can be here. Right? But if you're coming down, this is what we want to avoid. We want to avoid this rounding, right? We want to find length no matter where we are. So left leg pressing into left elbow or upper arm, whatever you've got. Right hand to the back of the chair. Let that help you pull around and open. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, work the twist. Breathe here. As you're ready, unwind. Come on back up, switch sides. The block is over to the right foot once again. The left leg is extended and flexed, right? So not pointed into the floor, but heel digging in, foot flexed, engaged in that left leg, the standing leg. This time we're going to twist in the direction that we're used to, right? Or we're going to twist to the right. So inhale the left arm up and exhale, take the twist. So the twist can be here, sitting up tall. That's one option. We can start to come forward, elbow, or we can work further to close this in, upper arm. It gets harder the further you go down, right? So those are the steps of engaging it. Right arm to the chair. Inhale, lengthen, and from the base of the spine, start this spiral twist, ending with head and neck. So remember that head and neck are part of the spine, right? The cervical spine, to the extent that you're able, is a part of this twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. As you're ready, unwind it and come back and switch sides. Left foot up, right leg extended. Inhale the right arm up and exhale, twist to the left. So wherever you're going, seated up tall or elbow or further up the leg. Let that left leg press to the right arm, to the right elbow. Left arm to the chair, let it help you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Once again, remember, head and neck are part of spine. And then slowly release. Come on out. So if the backs of your legs are tight, or if this was feeling extremely cramped for you, or if it's hard to get that length and lift in the low back, you're going to stay here and do the same sequence over. If you're ready and you want to move to the floor, we're going to do the same sequence and reduce the angle of the hip flexion. Okay? So you choose. We're coming to the floor. The left leg is long. The right knee is in. Draw the shin toward you. Take the left hand behind. Inhale, lift the right arm, the whole right side waist, lifting tall. Exhale, we twist to the left. Okay, so you can just sit straight up like this, or you can come forward, and if the upper shoulder meets the knee, you might even have the possibility to start to bind, to wrap the hand around or grab fingers. If that all feels okay. And of course, stay where you are. I'm just kind of taking us further if you want to go in further. If that twist is opening and working, you're going to bring it forward and start to fold over the leg. Right? So you'll see where you are. Might just be open and lengthening. And then come back to center. We're going to stay with the same leg and go the other direction. So keep the right knee in. We're going to take the right hand behind. Inhale the left arm, nice and long in that left side waist. And we're going to exhale and twist to the right. So it might be grabbing in the crook of the elbow. It might be coming around with the elbow. And it might be, I really can't do it, but it might be available to you, binding, taking the right arm around and grabbing. Right, so as before, pressing knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Feel that lift and hollowing and turning, spinning of the abdomen. So this is detoxification, clarification. It's known as squeeze and soak of the organs. So what we do is, as we twist, as we're twisting now, we're squeezing out blood from the abdominal organs and cavity. As we release, the region gets soaked with nutrients and with blood again. So it's a rejuvenation. It's really good for the digestion. As you're ready, come on out of it. Really good to be practicing twists during this seasonal transition. When we talk about sense of purification in the body, that sense of what is tahor, this is really helpful. Let's change legs. Right leg extended, left knee in. First, just find your lift and your length. Right hand behind. Inhale, the left arm up. And then exhale, we're twisting to the right. Good, so it's here, tall, or it's coming forward, or it's perhaps wrapping. Finding length, finding that open twist, and then perhaps it's spinning around to face forward and folding. As you're ready, releasing, pause, feel the abdomen. And we go to the other side. Inhaling the right arm up, left arm behind, and exhale, spin to the left. So it's cradling the knee, or it's taking the elbow around, or again, it's binding. If it's available to you. Just want to give all the options here. The navel moves toward the spine. The whole of the lower abdomen spins from the right side toward the left side. So this is the squeeze part of the action. And then as you're ready, come back to center. That invites the soak part of the action. If you're sitting on the chair or if you're sitting on the floor, extend the legs both long in front of you. So if you're on the chair, you want to be on the edge of the chair. Lengthen the legs. Sit up tall, staff pose. And just notice, is this any different than usual in your sense of how the front body meets the back body, in your sense of how the abdomen and the spine meet and support each other? Let the outer shoulders draw back, the shoulder blades move toward each other, and the bottom tips of the shoulder blades move down the back as the spine is lifting. So there's that simultaneous action of shoulders down, spine up. Sitting bones down, crown up. We're at the stage right now of daffodils and cherry blossoms. So thinking of those daffodils emerging from the crown, that lifting up, reaching up for sunlight, for nutrients. Then as you're ready, release. Give the knees a little shake out. Okay, so that was a lot of twist, and it was a lot for the SI, for the sacroiliac joints. We now want to just stabilize and lengthen again as we move toward closing our practice. So you're going to take either bolster or block. If you have the bolster, sit on the bolster. If you have a block, just keep it to the side. You'll place it later. But I find it easier if you have the bolster to start by sitting on that front edge of the bolster, the edge towards your feet, and then laying down. We're coming to a supported bridge. That's what we're doing. So you're coming to here. So if you're using the block to prop, then you're going to start flat and then press into the feet, lift the hips, lay the low back down on the block. The lowest level should really be plenty. The idea of this is simply to lengthen the tailbone and hollow the abdomen. Right? It's not so much a full bridge. If you want to take a full bridge, of course, take one, press into the feet, lift the hips, etc. So we're lengthening the tailbone, we're letting the abdomen just kind of soften back. And then if you like, once again, palms down, spread the fingers, inhale and lift them overhead. Noticing what happens in your shoulders too as you come back. And notice what happens to give you a little length through those, through the side waists. The sides of the abdominal cavity. Just resting here. Just let some length and width return to the low back.
With each exhale, see if you can give over the weight of the sacrum, of the low back, that bony plate, to the block or to the bolster. That's our only goal here. So the earlier portion of class was the yang portion, the active portion, the being out in the community portion. Now we move to the yin portion, the passive, restorative quality, the inward moving. And so you might note which is more in resonance with my personal needs right now. Do I want to be out in community? Do I need to be more withdrawn into myself to do the growth that I need to do? Am I feeling more aligned with spring or with winter right now? Lengthen the tailbone. So as you do so, let the hip points move in the direction of the heart, of the shoulders. Let the belly hollow and also soften. And then if you like, draw one knee into the chest and the other knee, hug the knees. That height makes it a little more intense on the middle back. And then slowly taking your prop away from underneath, but not too far. So you're going to take either the bolster or 2 blocks under the roots of the thighs, right? So the tops of the thighs, right where the thigh meets the buttock, place the blocks there. We usually will place them under the knees, right? Place them high up the thighs. We call that the root of the thighs. That gives some nice support again to lengthen and widen the low back. Take the arms to your sides, let the palms face up, tuck your shoulders under you. If you're wearing glasses, remove them for the moment. Allow the eyes to close if that feels safe and comfortable. Cover yourself up if you need some more warmth. For the next few minutes, just let the work, the intention, the breath even, let it all dissolve. Surrender yourself to the wisdom of the body, the wisdom of your practice. Practice letting go.
If you're able to extend your time in Shavasana today, by all means, go for it. If you're ready to come out, allow the breath to deepen. Wiggle the fingers and toes, give yourself a nice yawn stretch. Make your way onto one side and up to a comfortable seat. Feel the breath coming and going. Ask your body, is there anything you would like me to know right now? Check in with love and simply listen. Is there anything you need me to know? I am listening. Thank your body for this practice. Thank yourself for showing up. And as always, we don't hold the fruits of practice in for ourselves, but we extend out to the community, to the world, to all sentient beings. You may, as I am doing every day, dedicate your practice. I'm dedicating mine each day to the well-being of the Ukrainian people. May we find peace. May they know peace. As you're ready, take a nice deep breath. Allow your eyes to open if they were closed. Wishing you Shavua Tov, a good week on this Parashat Tazria. And I want to give an enormous thank you to Adi, my amazing wingman who holds our space together in the technical. This is Adi's last week with IJS. He's been with IJS for over a year, and he's moving on to new horizons. And we're sad. I'm sad, but really grateful, really excited for him, wishing him only well. And I hope you join me in thanking him for his incredible stewardship of our space and wishing him well. So please check out Awareness in Action. And I'm here for a few more moments till the top of the hour to answer any questions that you have regarding specifically today's practice, or hear your reflections on today's practice and how it resonated for you. So please use the hand raising option, or you can put a question into the chat. Let's see. And you know what? I'll write again into the chat for anyone who is interested the name of the book I was reading from. It's Rabbi Yael Levy, Directing the Heart. It is worth having in your library. Such a beautiful book of mindfulness interpretations of every parasha. And as well, I want to let you know that I teach a 90-minute weekly class on Sundays. If you'd like to be on my mailing list, just pop me an email at shammash@gmail.com. It's a sliding scale paid class. It's similar to Monday, but twice the length. So we can get in a little more instruction, a few more poses. So if that's of interest to you, it's 9 a.m. Eastern on Sundays. If you're in a different part of the country, there are many people I send recordings to, so you can do that option as well. I saw a hand up, but I don't see that hand up anymore. Ah, there it is. Bethany.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to pop in and say thank you for another great session this morning. This has become integral to my Monday routine. And I looked up at the clock this morning at 11:30 and said, oh no, I'm missing it. So I turned it on and I came down, joined it, and got into the twists. And I just really appreciated the reminder about the transitions from winter to spring and just taking time to recognize that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Bethany. And where are you located in the country?
I'm in South Carolina.
You're in South Carolina. Okay. Great, great, great. I'm so glad you made it. And you can always head back to the video to get the full class with its lead-in. So I hope it lands well in your body today. That's great. Thanks for being here, Bethany. Susan Adler, let's see, ask to unmute.
Okay.
You're on.
First of all, thank you so much. I have always loved twists, but now I really but I don't, here's my specific question. I, for the last few days, out of no prior history, have had a knot in my right calf, tried a lot of different things, from sitting in the hot tub to stretches and walking. And now the knot is gone after this wonderful class. And I was wondering if there was any particular, I don't know what caused it to go away, and I'm glad it's gone. But was there any particular combination?
I think it was a nescadol. I think it was like an unrelated miracle, but I will show you something. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about any connection from the calf to the abdomen, although, there could be a meridian.
Right in center of the calf, so.
But let me show you something that I know will help your calf, should it return.
Okay.
Downward dog is a good one,
Okay.
Right?
Good.
This one I love. You take the blanket, you roll it a little or a lot. It kind of depends on how much your calf can take. You stand on it in the middle of the foot, right? And just let the heels drop. That's a lot for the calves. Then if you can, right, so again, it depends on the size of the roll. Let the heels drop to the floor and bend over. And oh my God, it's a lot. So that's going to really open the calf. I love this one.
All right.
So that actually is directly related, and I know it will help.
Thank you. You have made my morning here.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you found relief. That's great.
It is amazing.
Terrific. Thank you. Good, good, good. Laura Mayer, hello. And then Shelley.
So I just wanted to say a thank you to you, because during the exercises, your language that you used, the sensitivity that you used for every step of the way, just being so descriptive. I mean, just listening to the language was a meditation. Following the language was meditation. Really just beautiful. I really appreciate your work a lot.
Oh, thank you, Laura. You made my month, I think, or you might have made my life, because it is really a lifetime of work, of figuring out, it's one thing to be able to learn from a teacher and then metabolize and digest in one's own body. But then the transmission to one's own students is something I'm working on all the time, every day. And it comes from really just over 25 years of work as a singer, in Alexander technique, in yoga, in Feldenkrais, in theater, in dance. So it is an integration of all of that. So thank you for receiving it. And I'm glad that it lands clearly to you. It's really right? Because ultimately it doesn't matter if I can do it in my body. It matters if you can find it in your body. So that's great. And it really bolsters me as a teacher. It lifts me and just reminds me that I'm not that I'm in the right direction. So it's great. Thank you. Thank you for your words. I take them into my heart. Shelley. Does that work? There we go.
Yeah, well, oops. Okay, I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, ditto to that previous participant. I feel that it always lands in the right place for me, the way you describe it, the tone of your voice, the compassion of your words, very helpful. I wanted to say that I've never done Shavasana with the blocks in that crook of the buttocks. And I have a chronic, sort of like a sciatica. And it was very, very comforting to have those blocks in that position. Very interesting position. I would never have thought of that. You know, I usually put something under my knees.
Under the knees, exactly. Yeah, it's a really, really nice support. When you start getting crazy about yoga, the next step is you buy sandbags.
Wow.
And then as simultaneously you place that bolster or block under the root of the thigh, you place sandbags on the top of the thigh.
Oh.
And let it ground down. And so it's like the nicest, it's like a blankie.
Does it relieve the sciatica or does it just give it a little rest?
I think it just generally relieves, period. And it
Take it away.
lets you get some space too in the front of the hip flexor. I don't know about directly relation to sciatica really, but like you can, for anybody who's interested, I bought these at Hugger Mugger. They come without the sand, so you're not paying for shipment of sand. And then you just go to your local garden store and you buy potting sand and you fill it, and there's a zipper.
Wow.
But that's just when you get to the crazy level. Next level.
Thank you.
Sure. Sure, but I'm glad that specific instruction really had, so it's nice to, we always need, I say this to my choir when I teach, and I'm telling you the same thing. We need to know why we're doing everything. Not to ever just do blindly, right? But why? Why am I picking this modification over this modification, right? What am I trying to achieve with this? What's the impingement, and what am I choosing to relieve it, so that we can know our bodies through in that way.
Thank
so
you.
Awesome.
The other thing is, I was saying that my attention was trust. And one of the things that I'm learning from your class is just to trust what my body needs. And I had a great experience the other day. I was overwhelmed or just a little dysregulated from doing a lot, making a couple of mistakes and just not feeling great. So I took just a few minutes just to move my body, and it was just what I needed. So I trusted that I could, just do some cat and cow and do some of the neck movements that you've shown us, like sitting and putting one hand close and one hand behind. And it just unraveled. I felt I was unraveling in a good way.
Right. In the good way. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you for that reminder. I'm such a fan of the 5-minute practice. And my voice teacher of blessed memory, Tom Hauser, he used to say, if you have 10 minutes, do 10 minutes worth of vocalizing. If you have 5 minutes, do 5 minutes worth of vocalizing. It's the same thing. I could just take a hand to my heart and a hand to my belly and sit for 60 seconds. And then I could do some inhale and exhale with the arms and a couple twists, whatever. One downward dog, one triangle pose. Just to move myself in the direction of allowing myself to know from within and develop that trust, right? That my body will tell me, oh, I need this, I don't need that, I do need that. And then it, we practice the yoga on the mat so that we take the yoga off the mat. Because we're not practicing to be great yogis, we're practicing to be better humans and for that connection to the source, right? So thanks for that reminder. Okay, friends, the hour's upon us. If more choir directors explain those kinds of things, it's true. That's for another day, right? But why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Why am I choosing this? Why am I choosing that? So stay with it. Good luck with this week's wacky Torah portion, or just tough to digest a little bit. And good luck with this movement towards